Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Major injury updates. Last week, we had concerns over several players: Declan Rice, Fabio Vieira, Trossard, Martinelli, Partey, even Saka had gotten a couple of knocks here and there. Fabio Vieira returned. He was on the bench for this weekend's game against Bournemouth. Trossard was also on the bench. He didn't play, but he was on the bench. Declan Rice started the game. Saka started the game. Jesus also picked up a knock over this past weekend against Bournemouth. So is he going to be fit for the Lens game and the Man City game? Saka picked up a knock. Is he going to be fit for both of those games? And Thomas Partey as well. When is he going to be returning? We have updates on that. And also Martinelli. Is he going to be fit enough to start the Lens game or the Man City game? Let's find out. So this is the news from Simon Collins today. He says relief for Arsenal, Bukayo Saka out here training at London Colney. This guy, Bukayo Saka, no matter how many times he hit him, he's going to make his 87th appearance in a row, his 88th appearance in a row. He's probably going to play 500 games in a row. Like, this guy is just absolutely incredible. I do agree that some of you, some games I look at and I'm like, he doesn't really have to play in this game. Like against Lens, I did my predicted lineup or my preferred lineup for the Lens Arsenal game, and I feel like we have enough players to play there instead of putting Saka. Let Saka play against Man City. You know what, Saka? We are going to France, and we don't have enough seats on the plane. Please just stay back in England. We are gonna come back, and you're gonna play against Man City. We do not have any seats to go to France. The seats are done, man. It's full. The plane is full. You cannot go to France. He'd probably drive then, end up playing like his 120th game in a row. Like, this guy, absolutely incredible. But Bukayo Saka is back in. He is in training. He didn't miss any game. He was only not kicked around. And I'm scared, like against Lens, they will kick him around. As I said on that preview video, unless you're guaranteeing me that Saka is only going to play 45 minutes and then get subbed off, then maybe. But you can always have him on the bench. We have enough players to play. Havertz is there, Fabio Vieira is there, Nelson is there, Smith Rowe is there. Play any of them. If the game doesn't go our way and it's 1-1 or we are losing in the second half, then you have Saka on the bench. You can bring him out. You can bring him on all day. Say we leave him in England. Whichever way. If he travels, leave him on the bench. And if you're 2 goals, 3 goals up, we don't even have to bring him on. Let him be fit for the Man City game, because you know what the problem is as well. There's another international break after the Man City game, and Saka is going to play in both games. And I think one of them is even a friendly against Australia, if I'm not wrong, and he's still going to play in that one as well. So I just want him to rest somewhere, like against this Lens and this Lens team. I want him to rest, absolutely. So Simon Collins also goes on to say big boost too, as Thomas Partey is training as well. Finally, Thomas Partey is back as well. I'll give you my thoughts on that, but let me read what Simon Collins had to say about on his article. So he wrote, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus handed Arsenal a major boost after being fit to train at the start of a big week for the Gunners. Saka went off injured during the Saturday's 4-0 win at Bournemouth, with Jesus also picking up a knock late on, but both trained with the rest of the squad on Monday morning. Arsenal faced Lens in the Champions League on Tuesday and then play Man City in the Premier League showdown at the Emirates Stadium on Sunday. Saka appeared to hurt his foot when blocking a shot from Bournemouth left back Kerkez, and his fitness will be a relief for Mikel Arteta. Thomas Partey also trained as he continues as he closes in a return after a groin injury. Gabriel Martinelli and Julian Timber are the only players absent. Arteta insists he will not take his eye off Lens ahead of Sunday's clash with Man City after City suffered a 2-1 shock defeat at Wolves. So as Arteta he goes on to say how important this Champions League game is. I definitely know that. I know if you beat Lens, you're on 6 points, and then you basically just need to win 2 more home games. The 2 home games against Sevilla and Lens, when they come to our place, that is 12 points. You don't even necessarily have to go to Sevilla and win, and go to PSV and win. Even draws will be enough. Then by the time we play PSV on the final match day, we could have already gone through, so I don't even have to play our first team players. I do understand that it's a big game, but I'm not saying rest Saka, rest Odegaard, rest Saliba, rest Zinchenko, rest like 8-9 players. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying start all the other players, but rest Saka. That is what I'm saying. And removing Saka from that team against Lens, we have several options. You can play Fabio on the right. You can play Nelson on the right. Even if you want, you can play Havertz on the right and start with Trossard on the left side. Whichever way you want. We have several players who can play there. Nelson is on good form right now. Smith Rowe is back. He's looked sharp the last 2 games as well. why not give Saka? He doesn't have to start. I mean, he can come on for 20 minutes if he has to play. I might know in terms of taking the game seriously, but as I said, it's not like I'm resting 7 or 8 players. It's just one player who has played a lot. So for me, Saka would get rested in this one, but I know he's going to start anyway. Back to Thomas Partey. He is back in training. We were told last week by Sammy Mockbell that Partey will be back this week, and he is back in training this week. What an absolutely good side. The last time he played was against Fulham. He's missed 4 Premier League games and a Champions League game and a Carabao Cup game. So 6 games that he's missed, plus the international break he missed for his country. The time he got injured, he was playing as a right back. So who knows? If he didn't get injured, would he have been playing right back until now? There's no positives about Partey getting injured, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like if Partey was still fit that whole time, would he have been playing right back? Would we have seen Gabriel coming back to the team at centre back? The moment Partey went out and Zinchenko's fit, we saw Gabriel coming back to the centre back position, and that has helped us a lot. Like Gabriel and Saliba have been incredible. The last game that Partey played, we drew with Fulham 2-2. Before that, you had picked up good results against Crystal Palace away from home and had picked up 3 points against Nottingham Forest. But after that, he really had to depend on Declan Rice a lot to play in that midfield. And Thomas Partey, like remember back in the day when Thomas Partey used to get injured and we had to turn to Albert Sambilo Konga or, El Neni in a game where we needed to attack, and then we had to depend on El Neni, who's not really the greatest passer or the greatest player in terms of technique. We were so lucky this time around that we can turn to Declan Rice. The game against Man United, all of us were devastated to hear that, oh my goodness, Partey's not going to be there. And we had it on that Sunday that Partey's not available for the Man United game. But that was the first time I was like, I'm not really worried about that. Declan Rice is there. We have several players who can play that. Like the forward players are great. Jesus is there. Jesus was back for that game. Saka is there. Martinelli is there. I was not worried at all. But if Rice was not there, it would have been a problem. Like we saw maybe against Tottenham, if Rice went off injured, it would have been Partey coming on and things would have been different. Maybe he wouldn't have made that mistake. But not saying Jorginho's only made mistakes. Even Partey himself made mistakes at the end of last season. But it's really good to have him back, especially right before a Manchester game. He actually got injured before a Manchester game and is now back for a Manchester game. Tomorrow against Lens, I do not want to see Partey anywhere close to that unless maybe he could feel, hey, let's give him 15 minutes so that he can be a bit sharp for the game over the weekend. Now, the only problem I have with all these players returning before the international break is the international break. Ghana are not even playing any qualifiers. I think they're going to play against Mexico and USA, friendly matches. But Partey will be picked and he'll go and play both of those games. And that is what I don't like. Like he's going to play 1 or 30 minutes for Arsenal and then he's going to play 90 minutes twice for Ghana. And then by the time he comes back, he's injured again. That is what I don't like. So I really, I would have loved like if this Man City game was after the international break. Like you tell the international teams, nope, Trossard is not fit enough. Martinelli is not fit enough. Partey is not fit enough. Jesus is not fit enough. They're now going to the international break to play those friendly matches. They will be back after the international break. But the problem is with all of these players returning, they're going to be picked for the international teams and they're going to play in those friendly matches, and it's super annoying. But it's still a great sight to see Thomas Partey back. We could finally see that I mean, Partey and Rice were both fit in the first 2-3 games, but you never really got to see Partey and Rice in midfield, although Partey was drifting in as an inverted fullback and he was playing in midfield with Rice. We've never really seen both of them like starting in midfield together. That is what you want to see. Partey and Rice and Odegaard, or Partey and Rice in a double pivot, however we are going to play. I just want to see how it would work out. I think we saw that in one game. It wasn't really good against Nottingham Forest, although that allowed Declan Rice to go forward a lot, and he had like 4 or 5 shots that day, and like 3 of them on target, and Declan Rice got forward a lot that day. But it would be good to have a full team back. Partey's back. Really, really good news. But we're not going to have our full team back. We know Timber is injured. And the guy next to Thomas Partey here is also still injured. No news on Martinelli. He isn't back in training yet. This is one of the players, like, I really wanted him for the Man City game. But if he's not fit enough, give him that cup 2 weeks on his international break to rest and bring him back against Chelsea. You remember he scored his best Premier League goal against Chelsea. Bring him back after the international break. I think it would be great to have Martinelli against Man City. But if I remember correctly, Trossard playing against Man City last season in the FA Cup was incredible. So I think we can have the likes of Trossard playing. And now if Partey's back as well in midfield, that can allow us to push Rice a bit further forward and try to keep Man City in their own half with Declan Rice and pushing, like defending from the front. That would be great. So Martinelli is not yet fit with that injury against Everton. He's going to miss another Champions League game. I really want him to play in the Champions League. He's waited for so long, but he's been injured for both games. He also missed the game against Bournemouth as well. And did he miss another one? Yes, he missed the North London derby, obviously. So he's missed 4 games. Hopefully he is back soon. Another player that we need in the team. We need our full team. Like, imagine if you have Trossard, Martinelli, Saka, Vieira, Havertz, Odegaard, Jesus, Nketiah, Rice, Partey, like all of them fit. On top of that, you have Smith Rowe as well to come off the bench or even to start some games. Like, that would be great. So let's see what happens. But Thomas Partey is back in training. Saka, no injury. He is back. He's probably going to start against Lens. Martinelli is not back, unfortunately. So it's only 2 injuries that we have now, Martinelli and Timber. That's a very good start. That's a very, very good start. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.